Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. It is a show in which I attempt to give you a preview, hence the name, of everything that is going to be coming out from my channel over the course of this next week. During this show, we spend some time talking about some news and some current events, things that are top of mind for me and may also be top of mind for you and may just inform you of, because maybe you haven't heard about these things. But this is the purpose of the show. And above all else, we also have a fantastic time. So if this is your first time, I want to officially invite you to hit the subscribe button so that you can be part of all the fun that we have here every single week. And maybe you're one of the 30 some odd percent of people that watches my content but hasn't hit the subscribe button. This is my official invitation to you as well. And if this is your first time in the actual live stream, put your hand up, let us know so that we can officially welcome you to the channel and to the show. So just let us know. First timer, just put it up there in the comment section and you will be surprised by the warm welcome that you are going to get from all of the comic book soldiers that are in the room with you right now. So I have to apologize. I was late. I watched Social Dilemma earlier today, sent a message to my family. My mother-in-law responded to me with an article with a video that had a profound effect on me and required an immediate response. It required an immediate response to her. And then I looked at the time and I was like, oh, mother, I've got to get back to you because my show is about to start. So I apologize for my tardiness there. But there we go. Austin says this is his first live show. Welcome, my friend. We definitely want to welcome you officially here to the show, man. Hopefully you hit the subscribe button. This is a good place, man. Definitely a good place. So we appreciate you being here, Austin. If you need anything as you acclimate yourself to the channel, reach out to me. Feel free to do so on Instagram at Reggie Collects, or you can send me an email to reggie@reggiecollects.com, or we've got a couple of blue wrenches in here that can actually help you. I think I saw Tina here and also Matt. I think I saw Matt in here. Either one of those individuals, anybody with that blue text can actually help you out. So as someone just alluded to, we are going to clear off a couple of housekeeping items and then we are going to get into the show. We are fewer than 400 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. And unfortunately, we are well over 3,000 subscribers behind Comics with Bueller. Travis and I have I have a vendetta. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a vendetta against this guy. So I need to not only get to 10,000 subscribers with the next 400 people, but I need another 3,000 in order to catch up with Travis because I despise him. So joking. Travis and I are very good friends, but we were just joking about 30 minutes ago back and forth on the Instagram machine about hashtag takedown Bueller. All right. So that is one thing. We are headed down a path of getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. And thanks to some pretty awesome subscribers, I have been the recipient of one token of appreciation that will be turned into a prize pack for some folks when we get to 10,000 subs. We're going to do some kind of giveaway. I don't exactly know what it's going to be, but one subscriber has actually sent me something that is down here by my knee. Another has something else en route. Another has promised, no, another one or two have actually promised some things. What we're going to end up doing is seeing what things come in, and then we will figure out how best to give it away. Is it one grand prize or are we going to spread the love? This is not an invitation or solicitation for people to start sending stuff for the 10,000. I am excited about being able to meet my BHAG goal for the year. And I'm also just saying thank you to those people that have already indicated that they want to do something. Definitely not a solicitation for folks to start sending stuff. So let me put that out there. One other housekeeping item. We are going to be doing a dry cleaning Q&A session this coming Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. For those folks that have purchased one of the deluxe cleaning kits that I rolled out earlier this week, we're going to have a Q&A session for those folks on Wednesday at 4 p.m. A link will be sent to you for you to be able to access that private live stream. All Patreon members, because of their membership, will also have an invitation to that live stream as well for them to participate. No additional purchase necessary for Patreon members. This is, again, membership has its privileges for those folks. So again, just thanks to all the Patreon members and to anyone that purchased one of the deluxe dry cleaning kits. I think those have all been mailed out. So hopefully we will have a good session this coming Wednesday. All right. So to the question that someone asked a few moments ago, I am still in possession of the Daredevil 168, the origin and first appearance of Elektra. We were down to our fourth person, Ray J. Flo. He or she had an opportunity to claim their prize this week. They did not. So we are now going to fifth place. Derek W. Derek W., you are now on the clock. You have 1 week from right now to claim your book, and then I will bundle this thing up and send it out to you. So Derek W., all you have to do is to send me an email to Reggie@reggiecollects.com with your screen name, your government name, which may be the same for you, your mailing address, and I will bundle all this stuff up and send it out to you. So you'll be getting that book along with this exclusive Go Collect variant. These will be sent out to you in a timely manner. So Derek W., you now have 1 week. All other books that have been offered up as part of the Go Collect giveaway that we do every single week have already been claimed. Thankfully, thankfully, all of those things have been claimed. All right. So, there are a couple of things that I want to get to here with regard to the news. Before we get to those things, I want to say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the chat. Scrolling up to the top, let me run through this thing real quick. My man, Matt Woods, Blue Wrench is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Randy Resnake is in here. Young Matthew is here. Chuck is in here. Al, how you doing, my friend? Tina, the OG Blue Wrench, is here. One of my bloggers, Doug, is in the house. Doug, it is good to see you, my friend. Thank you for everything that you are doing. Master Blaster is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Climbing Comics, my man, it is good to see you. Jeffrey P is in here. My man, Joe. Joe, it is always good to see you, my friend. Hopefully things are going well. Look like you were on the hunt this weekend at that comic shop. I'm glad you found a couple of awesome books. I think there was a Wolverine 2 or 3 that you scored. I remember that when there was at least one other book that I saw on the Instagram machine earlier today, but congrats to you. Chris Bigger is in here. My man, Pretty Fly for Filipino Guy, is in the house. How you doing, Jerry? It's good to see you. Scrolling down, DB is in here. Myth Lab Music. This dude reached out to me and said, hey, I just want to make sure you and your family are okay with all the fires that are going on. Myth Lab, I want to thank you, brother, for that. He is not the only one that reached out, and I want to thank him and anyone else that sent me a message just to say, hey, is everything okay? Or your family, everything good? Shout out to all of you guys. The Tiger is in the house. Tiger, it's good to see you. Quest Dog is here. All right, so let's keep this thing moving forward. And a little bit later, we are going to be giving away a really awesome book, Iron Fist issue number 1, 9.0, white pages. Somebody was going to get this book. And I'm also going to show you guys the other Go Collect giveaway book for this week as well, very, very soon. All right. So my man Mikey Sutton broke some news many months ago about Silk possibly getting a TV show. And I think it was recently confirmed that yes, indeed, she is going to be getting a a TV show. And I believe it's going to be on the Disney streaming plus. So I think folks are excited about that. Books like that one right there, her first appearance, what is that? Amazing Spider-Man 4. Books like that have actually taken off in value. That's actually a 9.8. I don't think you guys can see that very clearly, but that's a 9.8 sitting back there. Books associated with her are starting to take off. And so one of the big questions that was still being asked around Silk was she going to get an ongoing series again? And today we have a little bit of an answer to that. Yes, indeed, she is going to be getting an ongoing series. The series was actually delayed because of Voldemort, but it appears that things are still in the works for her ongoing series. While we do not have a definitive date as to when it is going to be released, it is still moving forward. At least that's the appearance. With talks of a Silk TV show, an update on the planned Silk comic book ongoing series. Scrolling down through this thing, let me see. While Marvel states they have no new information to share currently, Newsarama has confirmed through other sources that work on the series has continued despite the pandemic, and the series is still intended to be released, but with no firm release date yet. This thing was originally planned, or at least announced in February for a July 2020 debut, but that clearly has not happened. Now, here's the thing. What I found really interesting about this one is that Silk is actually going to be basically serving as a reporter for J. Jonah Jameson during the day. Peter Parker's a photographer. She's going to be a reporter during the day. And at night, she is going to protect JJ. Now, here's the thing. JJ is no longer running the Daily Bugle. He is now basically a podcaster. Go figure, right? He is like updated his technology. He is a modern man with a podcast. All he needs is a YouTube channel. But if you guys remember, there was that stretch of ASM where all we saw was J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man going back and forth on this podcast. It was all about the podcast for several issues, at least that was my feeling. And now we kind of know why that was the case. There was the fight while they were still on the air, right? And now we know that what was supposed to happen is that there was supposed to be a tie-in for Silk, aka Cindy Moon, that was supposed to happen. That did not happen because of Voldemort. And now I know why I was so bored reading that podcast, because it was a setup for something else to actually happen. So I feel a little bit better about that. I feel a little bit better, like there was a reason it was so boring. But one of the cool things about this thing, as I kind of continue scrolling down on this thing, is that the writer for this thing, let me see here, Maureen Gu. Maureen Gu is actually she's of Korean descent, and she's going to be the writer for Cindy Moon, Silk's ongoing series. And so for those that don't know, Silk is a Korean American. So I thought it was kind of cool, right? She is Korean, of Korean descent. She's going to be writing for a female character who is also Korean American. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a good move. And supposedly, like she is the writer that is not from comics. She is actually I think a nonfiction type of writer. And you can see here that she actually has a book called Believe in a Thing Called Love. And I kind of looked her up, and I want to say that there were maybe some offshoot books as well or something like that. But she is not a comic book writer. This is probably going to be, if not her first, one of her earliest attempts to write comics. So I'm excited about this. I actually dig the character of Silk. I don't talk about the character very much, but I dig the character. I think it's really cool. I mean, heck, she's hanging on the wall back there. So just a little bit of news around that one. We will see whether Marvel is actually going to announce this thing. My guess is that they're going to announce it like closer to 2020, if not in the first quarter of 2020. So more to come on that one. Let me bounce back to the chat real quick, see what else you guys are talking about. Let me move that window. That window was in the wrong place. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Gibbon gang. Let me scroll through the comments. I am way behind on comments here. Let me see. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but anything that says that I'm all right is a comment that I want to put up on screen. What is this? Marvel Decoded says first. I guess that means first time here. If so, welcome to you, Marvel Decoded. And this is my first time this week. Well done, Jeffrey P. Well done, brother. Let me see. We talked about that already. Scrolling down through the comments here. I didn't get the Chris Claremont SNL scoop though. I don't know what that means. Maybe you didn't see it in there. Or was that at the very end? Maybe that's what you were referring to. But I'm picking up on the conversation towards the end, so you have my apology if I'm misreading that. So Daniel P, it is good to see you, my friend, for certain. Scrolling up through the comments here, fingers crossed somebody's trying to win something, I think. Let me see. Spider-Verse is too red ocean if you don't already have it. I don't know that I can disagree with that statement. Sony has a stock roster if they use it right. Well said. Here's the thing, man. When you own 900 characters, right, you have a lot of freedom, right? So they're trying to do something with like a young Madam Web. They're talking about some Carnage stuff, some Venom stuff, some Silk stuff. There was all of that Silver Sable talk back in the day. There's like the rumors out there that the Sinister Six is going to be coming back. I mean, it would be very interesting, right? They have a stack roster to be able to make magic with, and fingers crossed that they actually do. Agree on the boring pocket, brother. That was so painful. It was such a painful story arc. I am reading the current story arc. It is not as bad as it has been. Still not great. Now, I will say that I have not yet read ASM 48. I have yet to read that issue, so I will read that one. That's the dope Mark Bagley cover. So fingers crossed that that one is actually pretty good. So scrolling through. Let me see. Let me make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay, cool. So we're good with that. I think we've covered off on that one right there. I want a Silver Sable movie. Oddly says Almighty Liger. Interesting. Why? Not that I have anything against Silver Sable. I mean, actually, I found half a long box in the collection like 2 months ago that was basically all Silver Sable, like multiple copies of like that run of Silver Sable. So, hey, I'm all for that. You guys, if you were following me on Instagram, you saw my post that I was putting up this weekend, man. I was putting up a lot of copies of books that I have multiple copies of. So, you know where my money is. So, but Silver Sable, I don't know that I've ever heard someone say, I want a Silver Sable. That's like saying I want a Speedball. Even though I did buy Speedball #1 earlier today, 9.8. Let me see. Scrolling down to the comments. Recommend picking up ASM 210 if you don't have it. Love some Madam Web. Brother, if you can get it for a good price, don't catch a brick with that Madam Web. Seriously, that ASM 210, that book, like 6 months ago, that was a great book to pick up. Check the prices. Don't catch a brick on that one. But I would agree, it's a good book to pick up. It is a good book. I mean, there's only like a handful of times that Madam Web has even appeared, to be honest with you. So the great thing, I think, is that Sony, to some degree or another, has a clean slate to work from, because there isn't a whole lot out there about Madam Web. Scrolling through... I just said I bought a #1, 9.8. I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep it for myself or whether I'm going to give it away as part of the Go Collect giveaway. I haven't yet decided, but I picked it up. We need a long shot solo. Oh my goodness. Chris Bigger. Chris Bigger is just reckless. Don't pay attention to this guy. He's reckless. But it's just, I have no idea why she just interests me, even though she looks like a knockoff. I'm not mad at you, brother. I'm not mad at you. I'm just teasing. I am not mad at you at all. I mean, again, I have multiple copies of some Silver Sable. So make some magic happen, Sony. Do what you do. I'm ready for you. All right. So I think it was pretty fly for a Filipino guy that actually sent me, my mother-in-law's replying back to me. I think it was pretty fly for a Filipino guy that sent me this message. I want to say maybe a day ago or so. I cannot recall, to be honest with you, but he sent me some news about DC. And for those that don't, that know, Dan DiDiorio was the co-publisher over at DC with Jim Lee, my man, my good buddy Jim Lee, for the last, I think, like 10 years or so. They've been co-publishers. And I think Jim Lee was focused on the creative stuff. And I think Dan was focused on more of the business stuff, right? And so Dan had this idea of something called the fifth generation, 5G for short. And I think, and you guys may know this a lot better than I, so I'm going to be looking at certain people in this room that are true DC fans to correct me if I if I get something wrong. But I think that the whole 5G initiative was supposed to be like this event that allowed DC to move forward with a fresh start, in the sense that they were going to age up and then age out in many ways a lot of their heroes. They were going to change them up. They were going to reshuffle the deck and introduce some new characters that would take on the mantle of some of these characters that have been around for 80 years or less, right? Of course. And I think that there were a lot of people that really hated that idea. There were a lot of people that really hated that idea for whatever reason, And it was announced with, well, let me restate. When Dan departed from DC as part of the management restructure that happened many months ago, one of the very first questions people started to ask was, what is going to happen with 5G? It's a lot of people asking that question. And I believe that, that Jim Lee made some statements around that time about the fact that 5G was no more. And he continues to make those statements about 5G is no more. And he just recently, I want to say that this is a recent article in which he continues to talk about the fact that there will be no 5G. So it says DC shoots down 5G or reboot speculation. Not going to happen. And so I think that this might have happened at DC fandom recently. So DC's publisher, chief creative officer, Jim Lee says, if you're looking forward to DC's 5G initiative, it ain't going to happen. And that some of the reports online have been wrongly speculating. Let me see here if there's a meteor question here, or a meteor comment. Lee shoots down the widespread 5G rumors and instead paints a more organic and individualized approach to bolstering the DC comic line in 2021. And part of the reason why maybe people thinking about this right now again is because I believe that the death metal series that is going on right now with the Robin King and all that crazy stuff, I think that a lot of people had believed that that event was going to be the start of the 5G introduction. And so while they have continued moving forward with that story arc, Jim Lee is basically saying, hey, we're not going to do 5G. We're not going to be moving forward with any of that stuff. And he says, we had a lot of great ideas that were floating around. And rather than dumping it all in 1 month and renumbering the line and going for that really short-term spike in sales, we just naturally gravitated to the story ideas and concepts we love and building them into the mythology and ongoing mythology in an organic way. And when I read that, basically what I am hearing him say is that they are not going to have this major event basically kill off, age out, retire all of these heroes and just introduce new versions of those heroes. They're not going to do that as part of this major event, right? This final crisis 0 hour type of event, right? But what he is saying is that change is still coming. He is not denying that change is coming. He's simply saying, we're not going to do it in 1 month. We're not going to do it in one event. We're not going to do it across the board. We are going to do it organically, title by title, character by character. We're going to continue to advance these things and refresh these things, but we're going to do it in an organic way. And so I think potentially people will have some mixed emotions about this, right? A lot of people don't like when you pass a mantle on from one character to another, because technically Bruce Wayne is always going to be Batman. Doesn't matter who's in the cape and cowl. Bruce Wayne is always Batman, right? So I think that people will always struggle with that notion of getting rid of Bruce Wayne or having him take on a different role. And I think that people also struggle with the constant reboots and the restarts and the retcons. And so I think that what he's saying is that we are going to try to find a way to continue to evolve and to tell fresh stories, but we're going to do it in an organic way. We're not going to do it in this artificial way where we just renumber everything and call it a number one and put a new character in the position and have them don the uniform and get that instantaneous spike in sales, right? So I think that DC, at least in this case, might actually be listening to people, which I think is a good thing. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. Let me bounce back to the chat real quick to see what folks are talking about, if they are talking about this or they're just socializing, because that could happen. What is this? I like the term organic used story comes first. There you go. Hopefully, man, it'll be, story and art done in a really great way. And I think if they can take people along on the journey, I think that people are probably going to be more accepting of change, right? People don't like change, but if you take me along on the journey and you allow me to go through the 5 stages of change, then I might be able to get on board at the end, right? Versus you just deciding that you're just going to change it, right? And I think that the term organic, I think was wisely used by Jim. So because to change it over and just change out the number or the reboot it and to just change the person or just call it a number one, that is artificial, right? And I think organic is potentially a better way to go. Juggernaut, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling through the comments here, they need some, they do. One of the things that I think all comic book publishers should really focus on is robust storytelling, because a robust story with a robust character, it's just robust. It will result in some robust sales. That's all that I'm going to say. Let me see what you guys. Here's the thing. Organic is better than a living and breathing document. Anytime I'm in a meeting and someone says a living, breathing document, I'm out. I check out. I'm done. I'm out of this meeting. Gotta go. Oh my goodness, you guys are great. Story keeps you hooked into the comic. Well said, Jerry. Well said, my brother. Kind of like how they rebooted the X-Men, which was a fresh take at Marvel. Yeah, man, I think, I think that, with what they did with the X-Men, I think that to me, that wasn't a true reboot versus an homage, if you will, to the past. And I believe in what Jonathan Hickman did. He was able to take some characters to some degree or another that had been irrelevant, and he told new stories, while at the same time, again, this is my opinion, while at the same time holding true to some facts that we had all come to accept. And what he has done is essentially taken the mutants, which, let's be honest, no one really was paying attention. No one was buying X-Men comics. Let's be honest about that until he came along. And I think when you look at the fact that the books are selling the way that they are and the stories that are being told are good. Marauders, fantastic. X-Force, not bad. X-Men, sometimes a little weird, but good. I mean, House of X and Powers of 10 were incredible. And no one that is going into that with a fresh mind can deny that, right? So I think that there is a time and a place always for a fresh start, especially if you're not dumping the past and you're still honoring some of that stuff that was there before. And I think if done correctly and done respectfully, I think that it can set a tone that can carry forward into the future. And that those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts there. So scrolling down through the comments here, let me see. Well, let's not forget how well Miles Morales' story turned. Well said, brother. Well said. And people did not like Miles Morales, man. And there's a lot of people that still don't like Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? But Miles is standing on his own 2 feet. He really is. And I'll be honest, I read some of the Miles Morales comics, and they're actually pretty they're actually pretty good, you know. It's tough. It's tough. I do not want to be a comic book creator, man, because it's like a no-win situation in some respects, to be honest with you. So scrolling through, man, come on. Was Gold Ball ever relevant before? He was not. Now everybody loves some Gold Ball, man. Yeah, I mean, it's he did a good job. He did a good job, man. It is. Woo, Doc says it's just beginning. Just in fact, you know, and it's just it's tough, man. You know, it's so much easier for a company to take a character and take the person out of the costume and just put another character in and then leverage all of that history. That is easy to do. And I think that it is a much more Herculean task to get people to care about a character that they've never heard of before. But if they can do it and they can do it right, it works incredibly well. I mean, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. One of the things that the independents do, and this is my opinion, I read a lot of independent stuff. By and large, I cannot remember the names of very many independent characters. I cannot. I read them and I thoroughly enjoy the stories, the dialogue, the writing, the art, fantastic. I cannot retain one of the characters. Right. And that's the difference, I think, between what Marvel is trying to do. They're trying to make you care about the character so as to be able to, you know, come out with multiple titles and come up with merchandise and all of the toys and all that other stuff. Whereas with the indies, they're just producing really, really great stories. And that's the conundrum. That is the conundrum. I honestly, I was reading Something is Killing Children. I don't know the name of the main character, the girl with the big eyes. I have no clue what her name is. Love the comic though. Love the comic. And I'm struggling. So, there you go. Well said, brother. All right. So, that was one thing that I'm way behind on topics. All right. Let me speed up here before I get off tracking. We're like 2 hours into this thing. So there are a lot of people that poo-poo certain writers, right? There are certain writers that people like absolutely love. There's some that there's mixed kind of things about this character. There are these creators, and there's some creators that people just don't like. And I don't know why that is. I personally like Brian Michael Bendis, and I like him because of the work that he did while he was at Marvel. I thought it was really good work. There are other people that are fans of DC that do not like Brian Michael Bendis, and these folks may actually be celebrating. They may actually be celebrating this news right here, that Brian Michael Bendis is ending his run on Superman and Action Comics in December. And we are not going to read this article. I'm not even going to get into this one, but I at least wanted to make sure that you guys knew that solicitations for December are basically calling the end of of what he's doing as like a wrap up or a final Superman tale. So again, just kind of an FYI on that. Those folks that did not like what Brian Michael Bendis actually did for Superman can now celebrate that they only have a couple of more months to deal with him. So I don't know if there's any Brian Michael Bendis fans in the room here or folks that didn't necessarily care for There you go. Chris Bigger is like, he's on it. He's on it, like, just go, bro. We are done with you guys. Here we go. So Milt says Bendis is good. Can't hold a candle to K. Man, not many people can. Not many people can hold a candle. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like your Al Ewing, your Chip Zdarsky, your Donny Cates', your Jonathan Hickman's, depending upon the title. They're killing the game. They are Jason Aaron, just doing some really, really fantastic stuff, doing some good stuff. I stopped reading Action and Superman 2 issues. I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe. You were one of the people that I was waiting for to comment, brother. I'm gonna be honest. I was waiting to see what you were going to say about that one, and now we know. He's like, I'm out. That's probably how I feel about the guy that's currently working on ASM. I'm like, you can just go, bro. You can just go. Keep it moving. Put Bendis in Archie comics. As a DC purist, very happy that Bendis era is ending, says Daniel P. That's what I'm saying, right? And here's the thing. Matthew hit on it. He's like, his ultimate, I enjoyed his Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. Him and Bagley working for, what is it, 111, 112, whatever number of issues, they made some magic happen on Ultimate. And so maybe that's why I care for him so much, because I really enjoyed that. You know, maybe that's it. And young Matthew, I apologize, brother. I could not hook you up. If anybody has, what is it, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 22, young Matthew is looking for a copy of that. If you guys can help him out. I only have one copy and I cannot give up my single copy. So I couldn't do it for you, brother, but hopefully someone in the room might be able to take care of you. Bendis equals greatness, no Hickman, etc. before him, says Jason. There you go. Defend him, brother. Bendis needs to write Ren and Stimpy. Oh my goodness. I was outraged. Says, here's the thing. Super Honorable Nephew doesn't get outraged about very many things, but if he's saying he was outraged, hey, I'm gonna just go ahead. Chip Zdarsky on Daredevil. Chip on Daredevil is fantastic. It is just captivating writing. Just there, man, there's some good writing that's happening right now. There really is. He is looking Milt and young Matthew. Hopefully you guys can connect. I want to say it was Amazing Spider-Man issue number 22 is the one that he was looking for. I have it in my phone. I think that was it. Hopefully you guys can make some magic happen. Is Mikey Sutton in here? Mikey Sutton must have heard, had his ears burning because I mentioned him at the beginning of the show. The things Cates could do with Superman would probably, no, Mikey. I don't want you to speak that into existence, brother. We need, I lost it. Oh, that wasn't even him that said that. Where'd that comment go? There we go. I got the wrong comment. Bendis is hit or miss. I liked him on Daredevil and New Avengers, though. There we go. Okay, I was on the wrong one. There was some other comment here. The things came. There we go. You, T-Bone, do not speak that into existence. Okay, we need Donny Cates on Amazing Spider-Man. That's where we need Donny, is on ASM, because ASM is in trouble. That's where he wants to do it, and we want him to do it because it would be amazing. That's what we want right there, T-Bone. All right, so let me keep this thing moving forward. So this next article, I bring this one up only because of the last, the second before last that I was mentioning, where the characters essentially as part of Dan DiDiorio's 5G initiative, the 5th generation, was supposed to basically age out a lot of heroes and introduce new, younger versions of those characters, right? I bring up this next article just because I'm hoping Marvel doesn't kind of head in this direction, but they're kind of not playing with it, but it's an interesting thing. As I was going through the news, I just found this one interesting, that basically what Marvel is going to be doing is they're going to be introducing something called X-Men Children of the Atom spin-off series, and it's basically scheduled for January. So as you look at this image, what you basically see in this image is Archangel, Cyclops, Gambit, and Nightcrawler. These are basically some mutants that are being trained by the more experienced X-Men, and they basically don costumes that are very much reminiscent of their teachers. And I don't think that they're going in this direction, but as I look at this, I just introduce new characters, even if they have to be named Goldball. Just introduce new characters, because this is like on the verge. This Cyclops uniform is like on the verge of his very dope, in my opinion, 90s uniform, just not nearly as cool as Cyclops' uniform was in the 90s. But Marvel Comics has scheduled Children of the Atom Number one, the next ongoing series in the Dawn of X-Men line for January 2021, following months of delays due to Voldemort. First announced in April 2020, Children of the Atom focuses on a new team of mutants who are specifically mentored by older X-Men counterparts, with some of the members of the team even sporting powers and costumes that resemble those of their mentors. Just easier to piggyback on some existing legacy, much harder to come up with something original, but I highly recommend it. Who is that? Is that Cable? That might be Cable right there. The Gambit, I don't know. Again, I hope that this doesn't go in the wrong direction, but I at least again wanted to share this one with you guys. Yeah. What is it? Nothing is as bad as X-Face. Oh my goodness, that costume with the X-Face. Well, technically, he actually looks like, what was the the Rob Liefeld character, Major X, $X? I can't remember the guy's name. Whatever that recent character was, or is it Judge Dredd? That version of Cyclops is very reminiscent of many other characters. Oh my goodness. Cross your fingers on that one. Indeed, my man John's Comics with Kids. Mr. Pink Scarf is in here. The what was it? The Werewolf Gang? The Werewolf Gang? Wolfman Gang? Wannabe Gibbon Gang? Something like that. John's Comics with Kids got something going on. I don't know. Gambit is not a That's his mentee. That's his mentee, brother. Oh my goodness. What was this? Hickman's work on the different continuities with both Fantastic Four and X-Men was genius. And I think it would be a no-brainer to have man, I'll be honest with you, bro. The work that he did on both of those titles was really incredible. The FF title by Jonathan Hickman is just a fantastic piece of work. What he did with the timelines in House of X and Powers of 10, fantastic stuff. I struggle with that level of complexity for ASM. ASM is not a complex title. Going back to the very beginning, it is very much straightforward. It is bad guys get beat up by good guys. That is it. That is the simple nature of Amazing Spider-Man. It is very much street level. You do bad stuff. I beat you up. I hang you up. The police come. I'm struggling with life. Jonathan brings a certain level of complexity that I don't know is ideal for Amazing Spider-Man, right? I think that in my mind, as I'm thinking about this on the fly, I think that Donny Cates can add a layer of complexity and depth to the character that doesn't make it overly complicated with timelines and different this, that, and the other. And you've got to read these paragraphs in order to get it. To me, Donnie is a better choice. And I mean, this is all my opinion, right? All my opinion. He brings a certain level of creativity where he can give the characters depth. He can tell new and interesting stories without making it overly complicated, right? I just don't think that ASM needs that level of complexity. Major X, there we go. Children of the Atom has Bendis. You could be right. I closed the article, but I wonder who the writer is for that. You could be right. You could be right. Keep poison. Thomas Mayo. Sorry, that's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. Thomas and I went back to last week. Children of the Atom reminds me of that lame New Warrior series Marvel was trying to push early. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That series from New Warriors. I don't know if that one's ever going to see the light of day because that was something else. Scrolling through the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Strange Academy has potential to be very original. Strange Academy, I read issue number 1. I have not read anything more than that, but I read issue number 1 and I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed that, and I'm not a Doctor Strange fan. I enjoy Strange Academy, and I think that that title has potential. A lot of people said that it's really good. That's what prompted me to read it. Issue number 1 was pretty darn good. So I think I have to agree with you, assuming, of course, that greatness actually continue through. Super Honorable Nephew says, I don't know if it's lazy. I don't know if it's, and I think what Super Honorable Nephew is talking about here is about this idea of just piggybacking off of the legacy characters that existed instead of creating new characters. I don't know if it's lazy so much as risk averse. Right? In my mind, they are risk averse. It is much easier to create a derivative of a character than to create a new character and potentially have it fail. That's my opinion, right? It is more financially and economically beneficial for them to piggyback off of someone else's legacy versus to start from scratch and to get people to actually care about the character and to be invested into that character. And I think that it's more of that than laziness per se, right? Than laziness per se. And we might be saying the same thing. You might be saying lazy to mean exactly what I just described. I like to use a lot of words, brother. So we might be saying literally the same thing. Brandon's like, I sign up for that Strange Academy major trash. Well done. All right. So let me keep this thing moving forward. I want to give you guys a quick rundown of a couple of books that I read this week. I actually read a lot of books, but I'm only going to run down a couple of them. The Resistance #5, fantastic. The Resistance from AWA is awesome. I highly recommend it. It is a 6-part series. We are on issue number 5. I have one more to go. I cannot wait to see what comes next because I think Moths, what I was really upset about this was in issue number 5, they said something like continues in Moth 3. They haven't even released Moth 1. And now you're about to wrap up the series. You're telling me to check out Moth 3 and Moth 1 isn't even out. And I think that they're like all off because of Voldemort. But I'm like, I really want this series from AWA to continue because the Resistance has been fantastic. And if it's going to end, you got to give me something else. All right. They also, I think it's called 0 Hour. I think it's 0 Hour or Year Zero. It's about zombies. Like AWA doesn't have a whole lot of titles, but they have one that is about zombies. I read it. It is awesome. It is awesome. Master Blaster, the guy had a Humvee with spikes on the tires, bro. That's all that I'm saying to you. I immediately showed my wife and was like, this is why I need a Humvee. We have COVID going on. There is ash falling from the sky. The next thing you know, frogs and zombies. That's all I'm saying. Need a Humvee. All right. The Resistance is dope. Web of Venom Wraith #1. I actually reviewed this, gave you guys a sneak peek into some leaked panels from that a couple of weeks ago. Finally read it, knew what was going to happen, finally read it, and I enjoyed it. I saw some people basically making comments that they did not enjoy Web of Venom. I actually enjoyed it. And maybe because I just read the Wraith series, that the Wraith was fresh in my mind. And so when I read Web of Venom Wraith, I picked up where I left off and I honestly enjoyed it. I gave it a rating of a solid. Same with Resistance issue number 5. I'm waiting to see whether there's going to be an issue 2 of Web of Venom Wraith because I enjoyed it. And that might have, you know what, I think it's actually a one shot. Strike that. X-Force #12. I said it was okay. X-Force 12, I read that one, said it was okay. Amazing Spider-Man 48, I did not get a chance to read. I wrote it down here. I was hoping I could read it. I did not get to it. I did, however, read Marauders issue number 12. That is another of the Dawn of X titles that I'm reading. Kate Bishop is back, and I'm enjoying some Kate. I'm enjoying some Kate. She is killing the game. Despite a few strange scenes in this book of Marauders, I thought that the overall issue was solid. And if you are not reading Marauders, I highly recommend it because it is definitely a good read. So let me see. I have not read that one. Rush, I tried to read Archangel 8. I started reading like a couple of issues. That was okay. I tried to read Red Border. I couldn't get into that one. I want to check out, what is it, Bad Mother from them? Bad Mother 1 or 2, I think, is out. I haven't read that. Hotel, I keep looking at, but have not read. So maybe I'll check that one out. If you're saying it's good, Year Zero, there it is. Stefan, well done. Year Zero. This is the one from AWA. It's about zombies. There's a Hummer, some catfishing. Good read right there. Good read. My wife was like, where are you going to park that, on the street? I said, yes, I'm going to park. What is this? Marauders was good. Marauders was good. Oh, for those that haven't checked it out, my man Scott P actually did a write-up on Scott. What was your write-up on, brother? It was on Ultraman. Ultraman. He did a write-up on Ultraman on ReggieCollects.com. So if you guys have a chance, check that one out. Let me write this down real quick. Vampire Masquerade. Because I have not read that. I've been reading American Vampire. And that's really good. I'm enjoying that one, but I have not read, from Almighty Liger King here mentioning this one. I have not read that, so I may have to check that one out. So scrolling down through the comments here. The Hellions, the last one that I read was Madeline Pryor, like sealing up Havoc's mouth and him cutting his mouth open. That was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good issue. I enjoy Hellions. I have enjoyed that one. I don't know a whole lot like about where the story is going, like with this whole Madeline Pryor thing. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. It'll be interesting. So I'm definitely on board with the Hellions and the whole team and Psylocke and Havoc and the internal angst that they have, you know. So it's a good one. I'm on board with that one for certain. I'm on board for that, certain. There you go. There you go. I have not read it yet. I read your review. I have not yet read the comic though. So I hope to be able to get to that. Seven Secrets was on the list. I want to say last week or the week before that. Seven Secrets is fantastic. Highly recommend that. Highly recommend. Uh-oh. Bad Mother is Mother's version of Taylor. Well done, Jeff. Jeffrey says, hey, Reg, finally saw Old Guard. Man, was that, brother? I told you guys. That show, the comic and the movie for the Old Guard are both incredible. Both are really good. All right. So we're going to keep this thing moving forward, man. We're almost up to an hour here, and I am not stretching it out on purpose. I just get caught up in having the conversation with you guys. So I do want to wrap it up soon, because I know on the East Coast it is getting late, and I think I just heard one of my children scream upstairs because they should be asleep, but you know, stuff happens. All right, so let's go ahead and give away this book right here. It is Iron Fist, issue number 1. I will tell you, a lot of people struggle. A lot of people struggled this week with being able to find the actual video in which the phrase was located. Here is what I will tell you. This is what I will tell you. If you reach out to me asking me questions about the Go Collect giveaway, I will give you all the exact same answer. The video comes out sometime between Monday and Friday. The contest ends on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And then you find out who the winner is at 7:30 as part of the show. I will not tell you how many videos were released over the course of the week. I will not tell you what video it was located in. I will not give you any hints of any kind. The giveaway is intended to be a thank you for those people that take the time to actually watch the videos. And I know that some people watch the videos while they're driving down the street, and so don't always look at the screen. I completely get that. Completely understand it. Some people just, you know, are putting the headphones on and going for a run or whatever it happens to be. Completely get that. But hopefully everyone understands that if you reach out to me and you ask me, has the video with the phrase gone up? My answer is going to be yes, because it always goes up. For the last 80 plus weeks, I have not missed a week in which I released the phrase. The video always goes out sometime between Monday and Friday. I will not tell you what video it is in, right? So hopefully everyone understands that, because I believe in fairness, which means that even if I really like you, even if you're new, even if you have entered the contest every single week and you can't find it this week, I cannot give you the answer, because that's not the right thing to do. So hopefully everyone understands that and gets that I'm not going to give clues to anybody, and it doesn't matter who you are. I believe in fairness. So hopefully people get that. All right. I watched the videos. What did he say? I watched the videos and still never have time to enter. Hey, brother, I respect it. I respect it. He's like 5 people in. Here's the thing. We had and this is not my frustration, but it's one of the challenges because the entry point is so easy for this thing by design. We have a lot of people enter, but then we have situations where for weeks upon end, people don't claim their prize. And maybe that's because the price of entry is so low that people just don't bother to come back. And that's also a little bit of a challenge. And that's not to say that I made it purposefully hard to find the video. That was not necessarily the case, but it is a thing of I like to mix it up and I don't like to do the same thing. So the video phrase isn't released on the same day or in the same type of video every single week because, you know, who wants to be that regimented and that structured and that boring, right? I try to keep it fun, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen here real quick and we will actually look at the 5 people that were able to enter this week's contest. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. So hopefully everybody will be able to see this. These are all the individuals that were able to successfully find this week's Go Collect giveaway video in which I mentioned the phrase. The phrase was chi, and you basically had to capture that. Head over to the community tab, find the post where I talked about the book, click on that link for MailChimp, go to MailChimp, enter in 3 pieces of information, including the phrase chi, and then you were automatically in the running for this week's book. So those are all the folks. So I'm going to show my screen one more time. I'm going to we're going to roll some dice, then we're going to randomize this thing. So let me go ahead and hit this thing. We're going to roll these dice and see how many times. 5. That is a good number. One of the lower numbers that we have received in the last 80 some odd weeks. So we're going to go back to our thing here and we're going to randomize this thing a total of 5 times. That is 1. And there were 213 people. That is 2. Here is 3. That's 4. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway contest is Joe Young. Joe Young, you, sir, are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. And you will receive this Iron Fist issue number 1, 9.0 white pages, along with this awesome cover variant from Go Collect. All you have to do is to send me an email to Reggie@reggiecollects.com with your screen name, your government name, your mailing address, and your name and screen name may actually be the same. So Joe, you have 1 week to claim your prize. Let me make this a little bit bigger so that the top 5 people can actually see who they are. And here's the thing. 3 and 4 are just waiting. 3 and 4 are just waiting for somebody to slip up. So in first place, we have Joe Young. In second place, we have Jay's son. And then we have the almighty Liger King, all hail. And then my man, Doug B., one of the bloggers at ReggieCollects.com. So shout out to all of you guys in the top 5. Evan down there in the 5th place. These are the top 5. And again, Joe Young, you have 1 week to claim your prize, and you claim it simply by sending me an email. All right. And if you're watching this and you have no clue how to actually enter the giveaway, if you actually search for Reggie Collects Go Collect giveaway on the YouTube machine, you will actually find not 1, but 2 videos that will actually walk you through all the steps that you need to actually enter this week's, to enter the weekly giveaway from Go Collect. And the requirements for it are relatively straightforward. You basically have to be a resident of the United States, a resident of Canada, have a mailing address in the US, and be a subscriber to the channel. That's pretty much it. Those are the only requirements. So I want to go ahead and show you guys the book that is going to be given away this upcoming week. And all of the Carnage fans in the room and that are watching, you may dig this book. It is Carnage Mind Bomb issue number 1, a 9.8 with white pages. Carnage Mind Bomb. This is a red foil cover. All books that we give away here are basically valued somewhere between $150 and $200. And that's exactly where this one sits. So you have an opportunity to win this book this upcoming week. So keep your eyes and ears open for the videos that get released from the channel over the course of the week. And in one of those videos, I'm going to give you a phrase. And this time next week, you could be the winner of a pretty awesome book. So let me scroll down real quick. Let me scroll down. I just lost my chat. My chat has actually gone out here real quick. Let me pop over to YouTube so I can actually see you all, because I cannot see a thing at the moment. All right. So let me see. What is $20 Liger King? I got there's a couple of 197 says Chuck. He says, Al, thank you, brother, for asking people to smash the like button. Is definitely good for it is definitely good for the algorithm. DB is asking, what video will the phrase be in? It'll be on the video that gets released on Sunday, DB. The video that gets released on Sunday will actually have the phrase, and the phrase is robust. I'll just give it to you right now. It is robust. All right, so we are going to wrap this thing up. I think that I'll be hopefully making a couple of good announcements over the course of this upcoming week. At least that is my hope, that I'll be able to make a couple of announcements. So we will see whether those things come to life and allow me to actually do a live stream or two over the course of this upcoming week. At least that's my hope. We will see whether life and work cooperate to allow me to do that. But there's a couple of cool things that I think are going to be happening, and I hope to be able to announce them to you guys as they unfold over the course of the next several days. So definitely stay tuned. But I want to thank you all for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you enjoyed this live stream, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. If you are interested in helping me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers, tell your friends about the stuff that happens here at the Reggie Collects channel, and also specifically the Ready, Set, Go preview show, because we have a lot of fun. And so why would you not want to share with your actual friends? But if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so in one of two ways: on Instagram at Reggie Collects, REGIE, or you can reach me on email at Reggie at ReggieCollects.com. I totally butchered that. Did you see that? Reggie at ReggieCollects.com is my email address. If you guys need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.